at, yes, one of the best stadiums in Australia. Second only to the SCG, of course, which is my favourite. This is Adelaide Oval. You can see in the background the sun is slowly setting. We've got lights on there. This will be not unlike tomorrow's play. In fact, it will, of course, be a day-night match. So this will be one of the sessions of the day. We've got a plane in the background, but you'll notice, of course, that people were doing the stadium climb not far away. They were climbing the actual stadium. It's not quite the same as climbing the SCG, or more so the Sydney Harbour Bridge, of course, but it's still a great place to be. So anyway, we're going to wait for some people to join us. But the reality is this is one of those places where you can certainly feel steeped in tradition, steeped in history, a place where Don Bradman obviously spent his latter years. He spent the last, my heavens, good 50, 60, in fact 60 odd years of his life living in Adelaide. Of course, he was born in Cootamundra, then lived from the age of 3 in Bowral until the age of 20. We've gone through history of that on previous episodes, but here we are in Adelaide. You can see the ground's in picture-perfect condition. It's actually wonderfully, it's about 6 millimetres of grass. The curator, Damien Ho, has actually talked about that in a previous clip. What I found interesting, though, he did talk about the fact that he calls it a belter. He calls it a very good ground both for batsmen and for bowlers. Fairly even, Stevens. Now, not forgetting what happened here some 4 years ago when India were rolled for 36 on the same ground. And at that stage of the series, we thought India were done and dusted. Of course, they had, by the end of the series, 9 of their 11 players, if not 10 of their 11 players, either injured, not available, and were not playing. And the likes of Washington Sundar, Shardul Thakur, of course, Gill, and obviously Rishabh Pant came to the fore and played sensational innings to actually see them win that test match at the Gabba. One of the most remarkable test match comebacks by a team, in particular India. And that momentum has been really ongoing for the last 3-4 series in Australia, where India have gotten better and better. This series is even more pronounced, winning the first test match so emphatically over the West Australia, there at Optus Stadium. Seeing Australia all out for 104 and 238 is still remarkable scores when you think about it. For God's sake, what the hell have they got Labuschagne and his team for? He better will perform tomorrow, because his head's in the chopping block. And look, we know he's got a great record. We know he's done very well, but his attitude of late has been abysmal, and I've got no time for the way he's performed. And no one's above being dropped. And I think you look back at the likes of Ponting, Wars, they've all been dropped at some stage and they've come back. Well, Labuschagne hasn't had much of a down. He's had quite a significant down now. And look, Sam Constance is scoring centuries against the Indian touring team in Canberra only a few days ago. He's 19, but he is ready to go, having scored 3 centuries only of late. He's the next best thing for Australia. Put him in now. And he's an opener. He's a true opener. McSweeney is a good player, but he's not an opener. Khawaja should be opening with Constance, in my opinion, this test match. It won't happen. We know they've only made the one change. They've only made the one change being a forced change with Scott Boland in for Hazelwood. I did enjoy Sunil Gavaskar's, I think it was a Shastri, they both were quite sarcastic, saying whether Hazelwood was actually really injured or whether he spoke too much about the state of the Australian team. Australia do stick by their players. I'll respect that. But quite frankly, when a player is not playing well and there is one that is playing well, put him in, for God's sake. So they've kept McSweeney as an opener. They've put Labuschagne in at first drop again. Steve Smith's very shaky. Travis Head's admirably doing well. I'm expecting Khawaja to come back and do well. But to me, Australia should have been strong, and including Constance's team. They didn't. Bo Webster was meant to replace Mitch Marsh. Mitch Marsh is half as good as he normally is. He's not expected to bowl. He'll bat. What that tells me is they're putting in a player who's not 100% fit. And so whether Bo Webster deserved his chance, maybe he should have actually had that go ahead. The reality is, I've got a question here. Still using sandpaper, bro? Well, no, don't need to use sandpaper at the moment. Dave Warner's not here, so don't worry about that. He's not involved. But anyway, the fact is Australia's bowling lineup, there's been a lot of talk in the press about the speed of the bowlers, in particular Cummins, being well below pace. And I agree with that. Jaswal seems to be having a field day. We'll see the fruition of that in this test match. We must remember that India did get out for 36 here last time. I can't imagine it happening again. Rohit Sharma has conceded the fact that KL Rahul and Jaswal will open the batting tomorrow, and Rohit will bat somewhere in the middle order. I think that's very impressive that Rohit's done that. You must remember he is the captain of the side. He was out due to a family matter. He had no reason not to be reselected again as an opener, but he's had the strength of character to see that Rahul and Jaswal did well in the previous session and has put himself middle order. Why can't Australia learn that and have strength of character to say, well, Abhishek's not batting well, and they've got a guy named Sam Constance he should be in the side in the place of Labuschagne. But I do really respect the way Rohit Sharma has said, mate, I'm not worthy of the opening spot at the moment. These two guys are red hot. Leave them there. And we'll have, I'm assuming Padikar will be out of the side. Gill will be back at number 3. Kohli, who scored a red hot century, not out last innings, looking damn good. India, I hope bat first and bat big. I hope they get a huge 400 plus total, and Australia will be wobbling if they face that particular situation. Admittedly, if Australia win the toss and they bat first, it could be their saviour, but I seriously doubt. I mean, Labuschagne's been in the nets. I saw him over there batting for half an hour longer than everybody else. So what? If you're not in form, batting longer doesn't make you necessarily in form. The informed nature of your batting is out the middle, not of the nets. In fact, I think nets batting is, to me, is superseded by batting well in the middle. I could bat brilliantly in the nets and get out first ball in the middle, so I haven't got a lot of faith in that either. So I'm being a bit doom and gloom, yes, but I think Labuschagne needs to go kick up the pants. And if he thinks that he's able to do it, well, that's okay. If he bowls in this test match, we're going to lose this test match. I'll tell you right now. If we're desperate enough to bowl him, that Marsh is out from the bowling attack, well, then we're in trouble because Labuschagne is not a test bowler under any circumstances. Any questions, guys? Ask me some questions. What have we got here? Hey, mate, how are you? I'm good. You're very hardworking. I'm hardworking. I'm sitting here with a lot of drinks and food. I'm getting fatter by the minute. I'm hardly hardworking. I don't know what you're talking about. Namaste, sir. Namaste to you as well. Can you predict the IPL 2025 winner? Why would I be predicting the 2025 IPL when I'm sitting here about to watch a test match in Goose? What are you talking about? We'll talk about test cricket first. IPL, next year, it's completely different, as you know. I was there for the previous IPLs, and this is going to be a new chapter, yes, and we'll wait and see how we go. I think there may be a new champion team out of that lot. Okay, so tell me one thing, which is more beautiful, Virat's cover drive or Adelaide's dusk? Well, it depends what the circumstances are. Virat Kohli's drive is immaculate. So is Gill's, for that matter. And Rohit Sharma hitting the ball over the backward square is lovely to watch as well. Adelaide dusk is certainly beautiful. But yeah, I wouldn't mind having Virat Kohli out there. We'll see someone of that nature. Perhaps Virat will be here tomorrow night at the same time. We know there's a difficulty here. It's been well documented with the pink ball around about the time of this particular moment now where dusk takes on. The ball is particularly hard to adjust to. I grant that, yes, but both teams have the same circumstances. A lot of talk as well about the fact that this is, I think, 7 matches in a row that Australia have won in the day-night format with the pink ball, but that doesn't mean, and I think Rohit Sharma made a very strong point. He said records are there to be broken. Well, that should be the case here. I love the attitude, the confidence that they have got, which all came from the early days of Kohli and his attitude. It's really impressive. Yeah, I would like to, yes, I would put Sam Constant in the team too. Very much put Sam Constant in the team. Okay, questions are there. If McSweeney fails again, will we get to see Constance? If McSweeney fails again, he won't be opening, that's for sure. He should not be opening. I noticed Alan Border was inside as well. Alan Border seemed to be having a lot of fun. He's having a nice little dinner there. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about the Australian toughness. I know it's early in the series. I know it's the first test of 5. I know that I'm jumping the gun, you might think, but I've got a feeling that we're in for some real trouble here. Again, India lost the first 2 test matches and came back to win the series. In this particular series, Australia have lost the first. If they lose the second, they won't come back to win this series in 5. Very interesting indeed. I do think, though, looking at our backdrop, that imagine that tomorrow night it's going to be 40 degrees Celsius here. It's 40 degrees probably now. It's very close. It's been 40 all day. Steaming hot. I could probably have a sauna outside here. The reality is that Australia are up against it. They have got the favour of being at home, being in a ground where they've won a number in a row at day-night with the pink ball. Mitch Starc will be at his best. Hazelwood's not there. That's a loss. Scott Boland, he's better in the MCG than he is here. If they do have any bowling hiccups and they have to go to Mitch Marsh or beyond, they could be in a bit of trouble. Nathan Lyon made a comment earlier that he thought that this wicket will take spin, and it will. Potential on the 4th or 5th day, it will. And Ashwin has come into contention to play that match as well. Do you embrace sledging culture? No, I don't embrace sledging culture. I think it can be cheeky, like Shane Warne cheeky, certainly, but not the way that some of them do it. I mean, I like Richard Punty. He's a great sledger. He's a real character. And when Tim Payne tried to give it to him in the previous Test series, you remember what happened? Payne come out and had his number. So Australian team should sledge Virat Kohli. Then we will beat. I think Virat would love to be sledged. I don't think he's worried about that at all. So I think Virat would love a bit of sledging. He's not going to suffer from that at all. He'll love it. So you can look around the ground there. You can see the famous old scoreboard with the new screen next to it. You can see around here the new stands, a beautiful colour. We will be here tomorrow night for the match. Who is chirping behind me? No one's a bunch of people who are enjoying the night. They're at the Bespoke restaurant. This is the restaurant here. It's called Bespoke. It's a restaurant you can have dinner here. I'm actually staying in the actual stadium. There's an actual hotel called the Oval Hotel, and it's with beautiful rooms, looks out towards the churches, and you can walk around and have dinner and then look inside. Very nice indeed. Any questions, guys? So when will cricket probably also Australia be more popular than football in Australia? It makes it pretty hard seeing they play in different seasons, to be honest. What do you think about Smith? Steve Smith? Well, his form has not been good either. His age is also against him. I'd hate to see Steve Smith slowly slide down in form to the point where he's actually dropped. That'll be terrible. You need to retire or declare your innings finished. That is, your playing innings finished when you're on the top, as did, of course, Shane Warne. He could have played another 3 or 4 years, but he decided not to. I wish he did, because he may well be still alive. Is Marnus under pressure? Marnus Labuschagne under enormous pressure. Ginormous pressure is Labuschagne. Ginormous pressure. Indeed, he's under pressure. Which area is this? Is media people with you? They're media people. Good old Alan Borders having dinner inside there. Greg Blewett was here earlier. James Brayshaw was here earlier too. They're all here. Channel 7, 9, their people are here. I think Karel from India will be key player for next match. He will. Karel is proving himself. And again, I like the way Rohit Sharma has decided to leave him in the team, as in leave him even in the team, and also as an opener, and push himself down the order. Fabulous. Put Nita Clan with Whitetail. Well, I don't know what you want to do Whitetail for. Okay, so when will he come to India again? I'll come to India again when you invite me. When there's a tournament, I'll come there, for sure. Best question is the BGT 5-stadium selected? Yeah, they're some of the best stadiums in Australia, for sure. So what do you think about the pitch? 6 millimetre of grass is left. It's going to be a pitch where, and you can see the outfield's beautifully grained. It'll be fair to both sides. There'll be a bit of movement with the pink ball. It'll be a bit of seam, a bit of movement. And once you get through that stage, the batters should then be able to have the ball coming true onto the bat and be able to hit their shots, especially square, as you can see behind me, where it cut or pull spot here now. The boundaries are quite short. The ground is much longer. It's much longer and much shorter that way. So yeah, okay. 5-0. Well, it's every chance of being 5-0. Peter Gagan, you want to come on the live show with me? I've got to compare. Come around and say, come on, you want to come? Come on. Come on. You all right? Okay. Can you order me a drink and I'll put it in my room? I can't say that on TV. I'm 3, 1, 2. Under Kochenek. Okay. What do you think? I'll have a light beer. All right, so we're here. It's with Peter Gagan, who I play cricket with for the SCG 11, which I'm the most capped player for 107 matches. So Norman, is India, what stats do you like to visit? States do I like to visit? I like, well, Maharashtra, is it? I also like really a number of the states. I love the Rajasthan area, I love the Amritsar area, I love the Kolkata area, I love Mumbai, I love Chennai, I love Delhi, Dharamshala. I love Dharamshala. I was there last year and had an absolute ball. Absolute. So 3-2's your prediction. A lot of people have been saying that. It's going to be very exciting if it is. I can't see Australia winning more than 2 matches, or even 2 matches. Really, at the moment, you can't. But we'll see. They might come back next test, as in this test tomorrow. They might. But I've got a feeling they're not. Don't forget, India did get thumped here the last time they played. Joe Burns played a magnificent innings, but he didn't last very long. He was dropped very soon after. And Australia was smacked, especially in Brisbane. This time around, Brisbane was earlier on in this piece, and Sydney's the last test, and Melbourne's there too. Sydney and Melbourne are going to favour India big time. Big time. They're going to, the spinners like Jadeja, Ashwin, Washington Sundar there to come in. They're going to be favoured for the last 2 matches. Really, it's against Australia big time. We've only really got this in Brisbane. If we don't win one of these 2 matches, at least one of these 2 matches, we've got no hope. We'll lose 4-1. I'm thinking 5-0, to be honest with you, but 3-2, we'll see. They have to win these. If Australia expect to win 3-2, they're going to have to win the next 2 matches, because they won't win the last 2, in my opinion. I believe it. This test match, look, Australia haven't lost here. It's a pink ball. It does suit Stark quite well. Cummins paces down. Hazelwood's not here. That's a big loss. Scott Boland will do better in Melbourne. I think Australia a bit underdone in the bowling, and look, their batting's been shocking. Travis Head's the key because he's really used to this pitch. Kawaj has also played well here. But Virat Kohli, his stats in Adelaide are through the roof. He's the king of Adelaide, they say. Quite a statement. What do you think? Who will be the star of the next match? I'm tending to think Rahul will be. I think he showed it in Jaswal. My gosh, what a magnificent second innings had in Australia. 161 or wasn't, and Kohli's 100 not out. They were in red hot form. Kohli's very capable of getting a century. If India bat first, they'll score big, and Australia will be struggling from ball 1. And it'll be very interesting to see what takes place. The fact that the weather's going to be good all 5 days should favour, you would think, well, a good game at least. I think Australia's probably going to do well in their innings, but who will do well? Head will do well. I predict that Kawaj will do well. McSweeney, he's opening. He's not an opener. He's going to struggle. He might get a start, but I can't see him kicking on. Labuschagne's the one that really critically, if he gets 2 low scores, he's gone. Constance maybe 1 game too late. And then you have, I've got my personal. So I'm live. All right, so just quickly tell him. I'll just tell him that I'm live. A magnificent place. And so we've got a very, very impressive breakfast. Peter, you sure you don't want to come and have a bit of a chat here? Because I'm live. Are you sure? So anyway, it's Tabasha's. If he Tabasha's outside Southgate, well, I'm upstairs. I can't come to you, Tabasha's. If I'm doing a live here, I'm not going to walk over to Southgate. Okay, so just remember that. All right. Why? Pink ball is overhyped. Pink ball's not overhyped. Pink ball's what it is. It's a special type of ball for nighttime cricket, and therefore is at its best in this game. It moves more. It tends to seam more. The wicket in that twilight zone is certainly more difficult to judge the ball. It's an excellent ball to use, and it's proven that way. But Australia's definitely been favoured. I think that Australia might have to watch. If they get beaten here, they could lose 4 or 5-0. If they get beaten here, they're going to find it really hard to come back. But it's ironic because India were down, I think, 2-0 the last series. Is that right, Peter? They were down 2-0? Yeah, they were. India were down 2-0 last series after scoring 36 here. Everybody wrote them off. What happened? They came back and won the series. Now, this time around, Australia are under the pump. I honestly, if Australia go down 2-0, they will not come back and win this series. It'll suit India down to the ground. The Melbourne and Sydney wickets will suit them. It might come down to the toss. You mean in tomorrow's game, or you mean overall?
This series might come down to tomorrow's.
Oh, it could well do so, but I think India are more ahead than that at this point. I have got serious doubts about Labuschagne coming back this match. Why? Because when a player has a bad form run, such as Ponting, even the Wars, they were dropped and they had to go back into Sheffield for a while and come back. It's not a bad thing for it to happen that way. When you look at every top line player, they've had an early stumble and come back. Now, Labuschagne's had a pretty big first success run, and he thinks he's unbeatable and he can't imagine being dropped. Well, no, he's not above being dropped. He needs to realise his batting has not been good, nor his attitude. If he's not batting well, drop him, not permanently, but give him a chance to go out and improve his form, because we don't use tests to improve your form. You either bat well or you don't. That's my opinion. Cheers, guys. I've got a beer here with this massive head. All right. So we've got, so it was a biggest mistake not selecting Constance. I agree. Why would you not blood a guy 19 who scored 3 centuries in the last 5 or 6 matches, one against the Indian bowling attack? What more does he need to prove in Canberra, which is not unlike Adelaide Oval? I don't quite understand what idiot thinks that putting him. Look, I'm actually disgusted. McSweeney is not an opener. Period. Labuschagne's out of form. Period. Easy decision. Drop Sweeney down the order back to where he normally would be, which is either first or second drop, probably more second drop. Smith should be bloody first drop. He's not a baby, but definitely an opener. An opener who is truly an opener. Sam Constance is an opener and scored a century against India only a week or so ago. What more do you want, selectors? What more do you want? I mean, then just say if Labuschagne gets a 50, does that make him stay in? No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, because Labuschagne getting one good score means he'll go out and do 10 more bad scores. No. Drop him. Put bloody Constance. Listen to our viewers. Every newspaper's been saying it. I mean, I respect George Bailey. I think he's generally a good guy, a good selector. I like him a lot. And Andrew McDonald, I've got a lot of time for them both, actually. But you have to put that to one side and give this young guy a go. They gave McSweeney a go, but why would you blood a guy as an opener when he's not? When Ponting came into the test side, where did Ponting bat? Can someone tell me? He batted at 6 and was put up the order from a young age. He was batted at number 6. He didn't bat as an opener or first drop. He had to play his role, and he did it well, and he eventually made it. He was dropped as well, came back in. Aren't we seeing a trend there, guys? Ricky Ponting became our best batsman, statistically our best run getter. But he had a period where he batted at 6, and he was also dropped. So Labuschagne, I'm sorry, Labuschagne's not above being dropped. Okay? I don't care if he's had a good start to his career. He has to finish well. I'm afraid I don't want to see someone bat well early on and then fiddle away to nothing.
I feel like it's spot until the Ashes next year and not perform. They should be foresight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Steve Smith's another one. He has been a sensational player. He's got 9,000 tests. Well, he's got 10,000. No, he's got 9,000 test runs still. He's a phenomenal player, but his batting form has dipped quite significantly. And he was put as an opener, which was a joke. He's back to his position at number 4. If he's not playing well, we're going to watch him go to a batting average of 20 in a series and then drop him. That's sad. They should, both Smith's under 5, but in particular, Labuschagne should be dropped. I'm going to say it 10 times over, Labuschagne should have been dropped. Now, if he goes and scores runs tomorrow, he shouldn't be smug, because in one innings doesn't make him either, okay? I think we've got a long way. We've got to make some strong decisions. McSweeney was one good decision, but not as an opener. McSweeney should have batted below head, to be honest with you, in his first test. Why aren't we learning from Alan Border's inside there? I want to go and ask him a question. Alan Border would bloody agree. Alan Border, if he was in charge of the team, would say another bloody problem. Having a bowler as a captain. Oh my God. I mean, seriously, Pat Cummins is a nice bloke, but Pat Cummins in the interview today looked quite smug when he said, no, I only make one change, like he was really quite smug about it. No, mate, you've got nothing to be smug about. Your team is playing atrociously, and you're going to lose again. And if you do, mud's on your face, eggs on your face, okay? Himanshu is a big fan of Australia. I know Himanshu. What is your prediction for tomorrow? If Australia win the toss, if India win the toss and bat, they're winning the match. Simple as that. Because they'll get a lot of runs in the daytime. It'll come to night time. They might get through that period. Then Australia will be sent in at night, potentially on the second day, and they'll find it hard. Imagine McSweeney, Khawaja, followed by our from Labuschagne in the twilight of day 2. They're going to be 3 for nothing. My prediction in India score 420 and Australia 3 for something. And that's the way I look at it. If that's my thoughts. The one who is batting first will be the take advantage. Yeah, I would think so. It should be. Now, don't forget the first test. India actually got the first, all out for 154. Now that wasn't great, but my God, they didn't see Bumrah come in the second innings. Bumrah out there. Oh my God, watch out, Australia. If he gets this twilight zone going, he'll clean up the first 3 wickets for sure. I really like the way Siraj bowled, and also Rana. They were a great threesome. Now the big question here today is that Ashwin apparently bowled a lot of the nets. I saw Brian Majunda on Rev Sports talk about that, and Debasha was there. Definitely. It looks like Ashwin's in the team. Now, that's a very clever move, because if Australia do get an upper hand, Ashwin's capable of getting wickets on this wicket late in the innings. So that's a huge prediction. Okay. Yeah, Himanshu's mentioned Khawaja's only McSweeney. McSweeney's a mistake at opener. Labuschagne's out of form. Smith's out of form. Head's in form. Mitch Marsh is injured. He'll only bat, not bowl. So what is that for a top order? We've got injuries and out of form players. Alex Carey, it's his home ground. I'll give him that. Pat Cummins is bowling too slow. He's been a bloke like Border, who was captain, be throwing Pat Cummins the ball to open the bowling, unlike Bumrah. Mitchell Stark, you know what? He's a good bowler, but he's probably taking on too much. Nathan Lyon's a bit of a key. He could well be the decision maker. Scott Boland, this is not Scott Boland's favourite wicket. You want to have an opinion? I got an Indian man here from San Francisco. He's actually. Do you want to come and bring your? What's your name again?
Ravi Shankar.
Ravi Shankar, come in front of the camera. Say hello, Ravi.
Hi.
So you've come all the way from San Francisco to be here.
Yeah. By the way, just by the way of introduction, my name is Ravi Shankar. I live in the suburbs of San Francisco, and I landed in Melbourne earlier this morning. Flew over to Adelaide, and I'm really looking forward to a great test match. I read up on all the press about which team is going to do well and which player needs to be in the team and which players needs to be dropped. But I think come game time, the real men will suit up, and we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
Very good. In fact, Rav, it's a bit diplomatic there, a little bit diplomatic. You're going for India, I imagine.
Absolutely, 110%.
Did you like the way Rohit Sharma in his press conference is happy with KL Rahul and Jaswal opening, and he will get in the order?
I think that's the right thing to do.
I agree.
I think that's good leadership.
Absolutely.
I think especially when you play a team like Australia, which is very, very strong, the last thing you want to do is insert yourself into positions where, you break the rhythm of a team, and you want every inch of an advantage you can get when playing a team like Australia, especially in their home conditions. So I think Rohit is doing the absolute right thing by coming down the order. Now, the question that I had in mind was, is he going to be playing at number 5, or is Pant going to be playing at number 5 and he's going to be playing at number 6? But I think that's immaterial. I mean, it doesn't make a big difference as opposed to playing number 1 and number 5 or number 6. So I think it's the right thing to do.
Well, especially if India go none for 200.
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma coming in later on punts. Oh my God, Australia better watch out. When they're a bowler down, Mitch Marsh is injured. He's not going to bowl. You've got Boland, who is a good bowler, but not necessarily on this pitch. Stark can't do it all himself.
Yep.
And Cummins has already been stated as being below pace. I see some big cracks. The only bowler that will redeem himself is Nathan Lyon. I think he can handle it. But I think the Australian side is setting us up for a fall. Realistically, Stark can bowl well, but not on his own. He needs Hazelwood to back him up. They're good together, actually. They're a bit like they're a bowling combination of sorts.
Yeah.
And I think without Hazelwood in the team, they've got a loss there. Scott Boland is very good, but he bowls well on grounds like MCG, the Gabba. They're his grounds. He needs some movement. He needs some ability to move. He'll bowl steadily here, but he's very, like Jaswal will get used to his pace and his line and will adjust and will hit him out of the ground. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think I'm sure a lot of the Indian cricketers would have nothing but high respect for Boland, the way he does. And I think he had a couple of good test matches against England, I believe, in the Ashes series. I think he's a good bowler. And against Indians also, I thought he did a fantastic job at the World Test Championship in England. I forget, maybe it was at the Lords.
Yeah.
He got Shubman Gill bowled. So I think he might be coming in with a fair amount of confidence in terms of how he's bowled to the Indians. I don't recall if Boland has bowled against Indians after that test match in England. So if I was a member of management of the Australian team, and I asked I would feel good about having Boland coming in as a replacement for Hazelwood. Clearly, he's not where Hazelwood is from a standards and accuracy and potency perspective, but I think he'll do well, and I don't think Indians would be taking him lightly.
But India, they won the test match with a thumping victory in the first match, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. They've just bolstered their side with their true captain, Rohit Sharma. They've got Gill in the side, who is also in fairly good form. Padikar will probably be out, and you would assume. They've got a dynamite batting lineup. A dynamite. And their bowlers are very buoyant. Bumrah, Twilight Bumrah, I call him.
Yep.
He'll kill it here. Siraj is extremely underrated, and Rana had a fantastic first test match.
Yeah. And I think Norman, somebody that I don't think we are paying enough attention to is this bowling all-rounder or batting all-rounder called Nitish Reddy.
Yes.
He had a fantastic test match at Perth.
Absolutely.
Right, and I think he showed a lot of courage. He batted well. He bowled well. So I think India's got another weapon there in terms of
Ready.
Yeah, ready.
He's ready. He certainly is ready.
He's ready.
Labuschagne, by the way, is not ready. Okay,
Come
at
on.
all. I want.
Labu is a great player.
Look, I'm sick of seeing him chewing gum and gibbering away. And do you know how much of a pain in the arse he is to the rest of the Australian team?
He was averaging 65 for 40 tests.
Yeah, but then
It's crazy.
But I could average that much. And then the last how many test matches? How much has he averaged?
It's okay. You
Okay.
you have to have time for your
But-
grades.
Yeah, but hang on.
I
Ponting
mean,
was dropped.
Steve isn't playing that well either.
No, he's not close to it. But Ponting was dropped in a similar situation. War was dropped in a similar
When was
situation.
Ponting dropped? Well, because he went to India and he scored a bunch of zeros.
But he was dropped.
Yeah.
And he came back and scored 10,000 plus test runs. No, how much? 13,000 test runs.
Yeah.
So we've got
Ponting's
to.
a great.
The fact is, Labuschagne had a very good run for quite a while, but at some stage he had to wane. But he's waning beyond that. He needs to be given a bit of a wake. I'm not saying dropping for life,
Yeah.
but he needs to be given a bit of a spell. You've got a man called Constance there who scored 3 centuries against India just within the last week.
That's true.
19 champion. Look, how old was Jaiswal when he first played?
20.
Yeah, okay. Do we hold him back?
No.
How many good Indian batsmen are around him and he was able to get a go? Give Constance.
You think this Constance guy is as good as Jaiswal? Then he should get a go.
It's not a matter of being as good as he is right up there,
Right.
and he's an
Okay.
opener. He's an opener.
Yeah.
He was groomed by Shane Watson from a young age at the same school where his son Cranbrook in Sydney. But he's also
So you would have him open, and McSweeney drops down and Labuschagne sits out. Is that
exactly,
what you're saying?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. The fact that McSweeney is not an opening batter, why would you blood someone in his first test when he's not an opening batter? In fact, he has never opened the batting. Craziness. Ponting's first test match was at number 6. Okay?
Yeah.
Look where he went. McSweeney should have batted down the order quite admirably. Nothing wrong with it. He's still playing for Australia. But they should have put an opener. You don't blood a new opener. You give middle order, higher order batsmen a lower order position, they build them up.
I don't
but
disagree.
Openers,
I think the Indians were very inspired too, right? He had to face Bumrah twice over when Bumrah was at his absolute best,
Yeah.
right? So that was a problem for the poor guy. But the other thing is, like, Michael Vaughan was saying there, like, he was making a comment and he's like, likes to get a rise out of people. But
Yeah.
what do you think about the fact that he said there aren't that many, like, waiting in the wings trying to push Labuschagne of the world?
that's partly true.
Yeah.
I mean, another player.
Why is that?
Well, because we've been not. A number of the good players have actually not been given a chance, and they've kind of lost their way a bit. I mean, another person we haven't spoken about at all is Josh Inglis. And that was the keeper, but he is a sensational batter and is in the squad and should actually be given a chance as well. Probably ahead of Constance in a way, and he hasn't even been considered. They've all been talking about Constance, but Josh Inglis is another one. But Michael Vaughan's not wrong. There was a guy,
Interesting.
Jason Sanger, who I rated very highly, was the captain of Australia's under-19 team. A stylish, almost Laxman-like batter. Scored centuries against numerous touring teams like India, Sri Lanka, England, when they came out here. Was scoring runs like there was no tomorrow. They didn't put him in there. And he should have been there. If he was in now, he'd be a long-termer.
But Australia is known for blooding youngsters at 19, 20.
Are they? Well,
It's
tell me the
English
last one.
that are like very conservative. So
But
what's up with the
I don't know.
Australian system?
I don't know. It's something not right at the moment. It's fallen away a little bit. It has, and there's been too much. We've gone too well. We've gone too well for
That's
too
true.
long, and we just
You've won
well,
every damn thing under the sun.
exactly. So we think it's always going to happen, and when it doesn't happen, we think, oh, it's only the next match. I think our pants are going to be pulled down this time. I really do. I really think, and I'm not just saying that to stir
So
the pot.
sure, man. Like the Perth test was a revelation. Indians just lost 0-3 to New Zealand. I had zero expectations. They did it amazingly well, but I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Okay.
I think Cummins is awesome. He's going to come back. He hasn't played much cricket.
Yeah,
But
but
he's going to bowl well tomorrow. That's for
let's,
sure.
you're saying India over the last 3 or 4 series here have been building up to this moment.
We've absolutely done well, no question about it.
And
but
we won from after being 2-0 down last time. Now you're 1 up. They've got an attitude. With Gautam Gambhir, he will put the foot to the jugular and won't let it go. He's out there.
I hope so.
Yeah, he told Reddy before he went out to bat, "You're a warrior."
Yeah. Take a bullet for the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that attitude. I love
think it
that
too.
attitude, and I think that's
Absolutely.
what's going to really. India will be saying, "We want to eat Australia alive." They're not going to let them get up. I really think that's not, and I want to see it. And Virat Kohli is probably saying that with Gautam Gambhir pushing him. Let's see it, guys. What a great night. What's your name again?
My name is Venki.
Venki.
I'm also from the San Francisco area.
Right.
Visiting here from San Francisco, San Jose.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What a beautiful place.
Actually,
Thanks for
Sachin
having me.
Tendulkar's current manager is also called Venki, by the way.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I actually know Venki. So there you go. Thank you very much, Venki. I
All
really
right.
appreciate it. Very
Nice
much
to meet
for your
you.
time. Nice to
All
meet you too.
Cheers.
How's that? We've got 2 very learned characters coming on there, very well spoken, very articulate, and from San Francisco, which is actually, guys, Venki, what's the second biggest audience in the world for cricket? India's number 1. Who's second?
Second biggest, is it Bangladesh?
Keep going.
It's the United States.
It's the United States of America.
After India?
Number 2 audience in the world It is the second. I've got stats to prove it. They're my second biggest audience, by the way.
Your second biggest
Yeah.
audience as well.
No, it's
Only
fact.
Indians in the United States.
India's number one. Australia's not. Australia's obviously per capita pretty high, but sheer numbers, USA number 2.
Women.
Well, there you go.
Gets
We have
accolades.
Major League Cricket over there right now.
Yeah, you guys have proved your evidence of it.
Yes, indeed.
All right, that's wonderful. They've been fantastic. I really appreciate this. All right, guys, we might finish there on a high. I'm predicting India winning tomorrow. I think India are also hurting because last time they played here, they scored 36. And Joe Burns was King Kong and scored 50. And then where did he end up? 2 tests. He was dropped. He was dropped. So where's your logic there? Where's your logic there? Okay? Don't drop Loberson. Ooh. Joe Burns he got a 50 and then got dropped 2 matches later. So where's that logic? Loberson's batted 10, 15 innings and got 20, got low scores, but he's still playing for Australia. Joe Burns is actually now captain of the Italian T20 side, by the way. I saw it in the paper. All right, guys, all the best. Wait till later. I hope we have a great test match. It'll be this time of the night we're watching. So cheers from me here at the Adelaide Oval. Okay, take care, guys. Speak soon. How do I turn this off now? Where is it?